What's up, everybody? It's Sam here from the Gambling Corner podcast. And before we get to your scheduled program, I'm here to tell you about Anchor. It's now easier than ever to start your own podcast. Their free app gives you everything you need to get your podcast off the ground. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or computer. And if you're worried about getting your podcast heard, don't worry. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. What's up, everybody? My name's Sam and this is the Gambling Corner, brought to you by Fat Lad Sports. Today is Tuesday, March the 16th, and on today's show we're going to look over the midweek football. We'll also be joined by star of the show, Mr. Liam Doe, to get his likes and dislikes in the matches coming up this week. We'll also go over our absolutely fantastic week on the podcast and our official picks going 3-2 over the weekend, so a lovely winning weekend for us as well. We'll also have a horse racing bet from Gavin Taylor for Cheltenham on Wednesday. All right, let's get him on. Here is Liam Doe. Hello, Mr. Doe.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Are you?
All good, thank you.
Good. So, should we take our little lap of honour now?
3-2, but could have been so much better.
3-2, but also with the week that we had running up to the weekend as well.
Oh yes, if we counted that as official picks during the week, Jesus Christ, we would have been running away with it this month.
Yeah, we'd have been fucking on one, wouldn't we?
Ridiculous. I think it was a 6-day winning streak, so
yeah,
you cannot moan at that. But yeah, 3-2, but we were so close to going 5-0, really, to be honest.
Yeah, we were close, to be fair. I think, like I said to you, we can let the PSG one slide.
Yeah, PSG, there was obviously other stuff going on. And then Braga, who conceded late on, but I did watch the second half. Like I said, I was messaging you. And they got battered second half, so I could see that one coming a mile off. But
yeah,
you take that goal away from it, and then that's 4-1, which is still, well, but anyway, we'd take 3-2 every week, wouldn't we?
I'd take 3-2 every week. I'd hang my hat on 3-2.
Exactly.
So yeah, today, fuck me, today's a fucking brilliant day of sport.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, we've got Cheltenham and the cricket, and then football. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, something for everyone today.
Yeah. So if we start with Tuesday, I'm not going to go through, obviously, we're not going to run down all the games and give a couple of bits on each. We'll just give some stuff if we like them on certain days. So on Tuesday, there's Man City, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Real Madrid, Atlanta. There's Championship, League One and League Two. So if you want to start, if you have anything for Tuesday.
Yeah, so obviously looking into the Champions League games, they're the one that most people are going to be concerned with, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said to you, in regards to the Europa League, I haven't looked too much into that. Cause just second leg betting, it's just, I don't think there's much value there, to be honest. A lot of these legs are kind of tied up already.
Yeah, well, I only looked at the two ties that were level or were close.
Yeah. So just second leg betting in general's tough, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Madrid, Atalanta, last game was a snooze fest, really. Madrid got a late goal, didn't they, and won 1-0 away from home. Atalanta had a red card within the first 20 minutes, just killed the game completely. We were expecting goals, cards, all of it. And unfortunately, that red card kind of killed the game. Yeah. But I still like goals in this one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good kind of trend for both teams to score. In Atalanta games this season, it's happened 18 out of 27 times. And last 9 Madrid games, both teams' scores happened 7 out of 9 times.
Yeah.
I think Atalanta, they struggled not to get a goal across 2 legs. Obviously, the first leg, the red card, like I said, killed it. I'd imagine they're going to score in this game. but I still like Madrid to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Madrid kind of double chance in the game. So if you went for something similar along the lines to me, Madrid double chance and both teams to score is actually even money.
Right.
So that could be obviously 1-1. Madrid still go through.
Yeah.
And that comes in fairly comfortably. I could still see Madrid winning, to be honest. They're unbeaten in 6. Only one home loss in 8, and they won the other 7.
Yeah.
So they are quite good at home. They were down on the weekend and they came back. So it's just like kind of mentally, as well as the Champions League, they obviously always kind of turn up Champions League, don't they?
Yeah.
But
I think we might have got a little crossfire there, because just let me just double check, because I also like the double chance.
Yeah.
But the double chance on Atlanta.
Okay.
8-13. It was part of a double with Slavia Prague, but obviously we'll get into that later. But yeah, no, I like them because just Real Madrid sort of flatter to deceive, don't they, a little bit?
Yeah.
They have done lately. So yeah, the fact that you like Real Madrid on the double chance kind of puts me off it a bit. Puts me off my double a little bit, but yeah, no, I just thought with the attacking intent that Atlanta are going to have to go into this game with, made me like them on the double chance a little bit more. But as I say, I'm off that if you're on Madrid.
It's a tough one, really. I like Madrid because they've lost one this year. Well, they've lost one since December.
Mm-hmm.
And their home record's been really good. Like I said, unbeaten in 6, and they've won 7 out of their last 8 at home.
Yeah.
More going off that kind of thing. Obviously, Atlanta, the other leg, we were expecting goals. The red card killed them, but they are due goals at some point. So whether they nick 2 or 3 and then go through themselves, it's hard to guess with these kind of games. I just like Madrid at home with the Champions League feel. Doing quite well at home anyway. I kind of lean towards them, but if we're both double chancing either way, a draw would be best for both of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those. It's going to be a tight game, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't like that bet anymore. I'm fucking well off that now. If you like the other side.
Wow, there we go.
Put it like this. I don't really want to fade you at the minute.
Wow. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, one on each side. We'll stay away from that one, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
it was just something I looked at. I thought Madrid and double chance with both teams to score that seems to happen. I liked it even money.
Yeah,
just, like you said, we tried to find something on these games that everyone's going to watch, and that was just the kind of way that I leaned.
Yeah.
For a neutral point of view, I'd like Atlanta to go out and score a few and knock Madrid out, but it's just that home form that kind of puts me off that side. And then,
go on after you.
And then it's just the other game is kind of complete opposite to what that game I think is going to be. I think this is obviously it's tie over, I imagine, at 2-0, but
yeah,
I was going to just not bother looking, to be honest, just looking at the odds. And then I thought, well, obviously we're doing the pod, I'll have a look into Mönchengladbach. City speak for themselves, don't they? They rested however many starters. They're going to have a fresh start in 11 with all their best players. So that speaks for themselves. I didn't even do kind of a handicap on Man City. But then you look at Mönchengladbach, no win in 7, lost 4 in a row. So there's not much going on their side for a comeback or anything. They've won one away since October, which was against Bielefeld, who are 15th and struggling, to be honest. So the only way I kind of found value was similar to what we done the other day against Southampton, which was a handicap.
Yeah.
So City -1.5, and then I tied it in with kind of my Real Madrid one. But City -1.5 on the Asian lines. That would have come in 5 out of 7 times in their Champions League games, and obviously their last 2 home league games. Like I said, they rested however many against Fulham. They're going to play all the big boys. they're not going to want to get embarrassed or go out, and I think they're going to win this comfortably, especially with the Mönchengladbach form at the moment.
Yeah, one little note to add to that is it's obviously at a neutral venue.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear on that this time, as we weren't last week.
No. But yeah, even with that into consideration, Man City have been to enough cup finals. They can play wherever they want at the moment, and
yeah,
they're going to win fairly comfortably, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I don't think you can look at any other side at the moment except for Man City on. When they're playing, you have to look into try and find some value in City rather than thinking, blindly playing the opposition at whatever price they are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you would have won once out of 20 if you played Man United. So
yeah, exactly.
There's not too much point going against City at this rate.
No.
And then other games on Tuesday. There's a few Championship games that I was kind of interested in.
Yeah, I had a couple of nice little likes on a couple of Championship games as well.
But just going off our point the other day, we were saying about our picks, and we tried to give out 5 picks. And if we go 3 and 2, like we said earlier on in the pod, we take that every single week.
Yeah.
There's actually 7 singles that I like the look of. So none of these kind of double chances or anything like that. Straight up wins, like we had with Bolton. Which we obviously like, because you just wait for one thing rather than double chance, under goals, etc., etc. You just wait on the results. There are actually 7 ways I like to lean, 7 that I almost kind of like for these singles. So if we went 4 and 3 with them, obviously you'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
So this is over Tuesday and Wednesday, these 7 kind of singles that I've got. Looking to the first one, it's Cardiff versus Stoke.
Yeah.
So Cardiff at the moment have been flying. McCarthy, young Mick McCarthy, obviously got Manager of the Month, and then had the Manager of the Month curse. Whenever you get the Manager of the Month, you lose your next game. So they lost that one against Watford at the weekend. Before that, they'd won 6, drawn 4 in their 10 before the Watford game, pretty much. Won their last 3 home games, and they're coming up against Stoke. They've lost 4 out of their last 5, only beating Wycombe at home. And you know how we speak about Wycombe, we like to bet against Wycombe pretty much every week. Stoke's away form, not very good. No away win since December the 2nd, coming against you-know-who, or Wycombe Wanderers. So, and then no win in their last 3. They've lost 2, drawn 1. So just kind of going off form on that one. And I couldn't really believe the odds, to be honest. Cardiff was 6-5 to win. So just because it's a kind of single lean in one way, obviously with the home form against the poor away form in Stoke, only beating Wycombe recently. At 6-5, I like Cardiff a lot in that one. And then second one in the Championship games on Tuesday that I liked, Middlesbrough versus Preston. Very kind of similar to the last game, to be honest. Obviously, Middlesbrough at home. Preston are the worst form side in the league at the moment. Actually lost to Wycombe the other day away from home as well. So I think they're going to be a bit deflated from that one, coming up against the worst team in the league, not scoring, losing 1-0. Borough have won 2 of their last 3, drawing the other one. Preston lost their last 3 away from home, obviously the one including Wycombe. Their last 10 away from home, they've won 3, drawn 0, and lost 7, including poor losses against Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe. So I like to head towards Borough on this side, and they're actually 10-11 as well. So just under even money. I'm leaning that way anyway. And like I said, it's just a single. You just wait for them to kind of win. That's all you're waiting for. So I like them kind of odds. And then I dipped into League 2. And these are ones that I was looking forward to telling you about. Because Cheltenham Barrow, I'm just wondering, in any other league, why would the home side be 10-11 to win this? So Cheltenham first in League 2. Barrow 21st. Cheltenham have won 5 of their last 6, losing the other one. So obviously in good form. And at home, they've only lost 3 all season. Barrow's last 11 doesn't look too bad. It's 4 wins, 0 draws, 7 losses. So still obviously not great. But the 4 wins have come up against 16th, 18th, 19th, and 21st. And they also have the worst away record in the league. So just going off the fact that Cheltenham are first, are in good form, winning 5 out of the last 6, and Barrow 21st with the worst away record in the league. Any other league, I think these kind of odds would be 1-2, 1-3 maybe. At the moment, Cheltenham home win is 10-11.
Seems like a get on now kind of bet, doesn't it? I was just
looking at it and I thought maybe Barrow in form or something like that. They've beaten poor sides. They haven't necessarily been in good form. 4 wins, 7 losses in their last 11, sorry. And Cheltenham 5 wins in the last 6. I just couldn't believe the top of the table against 21st with 10-11 at home to win.
Yeah,
that was a strange one. And then another one in League 2, Crawley at home to Walsall. Crawley are actually 11-10 here, so just over the magic even money. And they're actually in form as well. They've won 4 and lost 1 in their last 5 and won their last 4 home games in a row. And then they're playing against Walsall, who've lost 5 of their last 7, only scored 1 in 5 games, and haven't scored in their last 3. And they haven't had a win in their last 8 games. So how they've managed to get Crawley just over even money, I'm really unsure again. Because Crawley are just outside the playoff places, so obviously hitting their kind of running form just at the right time to kind of get close to the playoffs. And Walsall are kind of mid-table sliding down. I think they're down to almost 16th, 17th now. So they're going in the opposite direction. They're not going to go down. And Crawley are needing wins to build himself up into the playoffs. So I just can't believe they've got it just over even money. So there's just 2 out there. I don't know if it's because League 2's... Obviously, all these kind of Championship, League 1, League 2, they're hard to call, which is why we don't tend to dip and dive into them too much, only kind of midweek games, which last week they pretty much all came in for us, luckily. But generally speaking, it's like almost similar to a raffle, isn't it? There's always going to be one side that let you down. Like on Saturday, I had Lincoln versus Rochdale, 3rd versus 23rd in League 1. And Rochdale won their first game with about 10, winning 2-1 away at 3rd place in the league. So that's the hard thing about Championship, League 1, League 2 betting. There's a reason why people say it's like some of the best leagues in the world, because they are so unpredictable. But for Chelsea to be first against 21st, 10-11 to win, and Crawley just outside the playoffs playing one of the worst form sides in the league, just over even money, I just couldn't believe it. I think it's just one of those. League 2 doesn't have that much exposure. There's not too many people betting on it.
No, I tend to agree.
But if you think about it, if it was just first versus second bottom in the Premier League, so Man City versus who's second bottom at the moment in the Premier League? Is it West Brom? What would the odds be for that?
Yeah, it'd be 1-3, 1-4, 1-5.
Even lower. So I think it's just because it's League 2, maybe, and you do get these occasional results where they go the other way. But I've backed up the stats with it, and I just couldn't believe the odds, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
And the only other thing for Tuesday's games, I have got one of these kind of double chance and under the goals, trebles. So involved in this one, I've got Brentford double chance under 5 goals, Watford double chance under 5 goals, and then Salford double chance under 5 goals. So I'll just go through those ones. Brentford away at Derby. Brentford have won 3, lost 1 in the last 4. That loss coming against Norwich, who are obviously the informed side in the league. They've only lost 5 away all season, which is quite good considering the Championship's a tough league. And obviously the kind of under 5 goals, that's happened 7 times in a row for Brentford. And then the Derby side, 3 losses in a row, and then 1 draw in their last 4, so no wins in 4. back in the double chance, that's perfect for us with Brentford. And then under the 5 goals in Derby games has happened all of their 36 league games. So Brentford
Right.
double chance seems like a banker on that side. And then
Brentford was Brentford just to win was one of my likes anyway.
Yeah, I think a lot of these kind of Brentford and Watford, I think there'll be a lot of kind of doubles, kind of looking at those two especially. Because then the second game, obviously, Rotherham, Watford, which have got double chance. Watford under the 5 goals again. Rotherham won their last game against Sheffield Wednesday, which you spoke about on Saturday, who are in terrible form. And that stopped their 4-game losing streak, so definitely not in form. And Watford on the other side, their last 8 games, 7 wins, 1 loss. So they've only lost 5 away in the league, and 4 of those are against top 6 sides. So they tend not to lose against the poorer sides in the league. The under 5 goals in these games, 20 times out of 22 for Watford, and 17 out of 18 for Rotherham. So I like the under 5 and Watford on that side as well with a double chance just to be safer. Then the last one, South at Colchester. This is more of a play against Colchester again. Same as last week during midweek we were playing against Colchester and they lost again. Salford are unbeaten at home, and the under 5 goals has happened 8 times in a row for them. Then Colchester side of it, they've only won 1 in 17, lost 5 of their last 6, and their last away win was in December. And then the under 5 goals happened 20 times in a row. So just to be safe, I've got a double chance in each of those. But if you wanted to try something else, you'd happily get away with the Brentford, Watford, Salford treble. But the treble on double chance and the under 5 goals in each of those comes out 1.09 to 1. So I just it's just one of those. I like to be a bit safer. But you could easily play all those kind of favourites there as a treble. And probably get away with it, to be honest. So that the double chance just kind of stops one of them kind of fucking you over, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice to have 2 possible results out of 3.
Yeah, you can get away with Brentford and Watford winning, then you're just waiting for Salford, who's been 0-0 for however long, and you ain't got to stress about it too much. So that's.
No, it's always nice to have 66% of possible results covered, isn't it?
That's just a bit safer. That was my kind of pick. But over all those games, I kind of looked at the ones that I liked the most at the double chance market, just to try and get even money. So the ones that I really like, which I'll be putting a bit of money on, would be Cardiff double chance, Crawley double chance, and Middlesbrough double chance, which comes out 1.02 to 1. So you haven't got to worry about the goals on that. It's just double chance. Win or draw for those 3 teams. Just over your even money. I think that's where I'll kind of be laying my money, I'd imagine. Yeah. And that would be it for me on Tuesday.
Well, I did have a couple for Tuesday, and I'm going back to my Barnsley Well.
Are they on Wednesday?
I thought they were Tuesday. Hold on, I'll soon tell you. Tuesday.
They're Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah, you're all spot on. So we'll leave that then. And then I was going to go back to my Besiktas Well. Because they're playing the team that they played on Friday, Istanbul Başakşehir or whatever they're called.
Okay, yeah.
But it's in the cup. So basically, for the same handicap I gave on Friday, which is now they're eight unbeaten and blah. All the reasons that I gave on Friday, and they're playing the same side, but this time at home in the cup, which is a semi-final. So that was one of my 2 picks for Tuesday. Obviously, I had the Brentford straight win against Derby, which is incorporated in yours. Yeah. So we don't need to say anything more about that. And then it was, that was it really. That was it for Tuesday for me as well. So yeah, crack on to Wednesday.
Chelsea, Atletico, and Bayern, Lazio. So Chelsea, Atletico. again, I'm not too sure which way this is going. Atletico look to be stumbling a little bit with only 1 win in 4, and they've failed to score in 2 of those. So I was kind of playing on the fact that Chelsea have been really good defensively. Obviously, 5 out of the last 6 have been clean sheets, and they're unbeaten in 10 now since Tuchel's joined. So just something to look at was a kind of Chelsea clean sheet at 6-4. I thought, considering their clean sheet record since Tuchel's come in, and they do look solid at the back, I thought 6-4 was quite good odds there just for a clean sheet Chelsea. So obviously you don't need anything else. That could be a 0-0 draw and you'd be counting your money on that one. That was just something that I like to look at. With Atletico seem to be stumbling a little bit. I know they've got, who is it? They've got Alvarez at the weekend at home. But
Alaves,
I think Alaves, I had a bet against them the other day, and they're pretty much rock bottom in the bottom 3, so I can't see them looking ahead too much to that one. That one should be a fairly comfortable home win, even if they are kind of struggling at the moment. So I think all their focus is going to be on this game. I don't think that's a look ahead spot there, but yeah, it was more just playing on the fact that Chelsea do look really solid at the back, and obviously a 0-0 for them. They're going through. It's one of those, isn't it? Atletico do have to come out a bit, but that's not the way they play. So are they going to struggle to break them down? The way Chelsea have been playing, I thought maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also assuming that this is at a neutral venue too.
I imagine so, if the Man City game is.
Yes, I would say so.
I guess so. We can double check that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put my hat on it. I don't think it'll be at Stamford Bridge. The first game was at a neutral venue, wasn't it? So yeah, so I imagine this is at a neutral venue too.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a look at it, but
Well, assume it is.
the second leg is at Stamford Bridge. Apparently so. I don't know how.
Is it really?
That one out.
Oh.
That's
a strange one, isn't it? Because then Atletico Madrid have been denied an advantage in the first leg, and Chelsea have now been granted an advantage in the second leg.
So
yeah, that's odd.
The English sides are having their home ties. Obviously, Liverpool played at home against Leipzig, didn't they? So I think it's maybe just these kind of Spanish or Italian sides not letting the English sides in. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it says on the Chelsea website, second leg's at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday, 17th.
Yeah, that was the same on Live Score. See, I've just looked on Live Score there, and the City one is in at the Puskás Arena. So, yeah, the City one's neutral. I guess perhaps next time we ought to look at fucking quarantine rules and shit like that.
Strange, but yeah, even at Stamford Bridge, wherever it is, Chelsea defensively have obviously been solid. So, if I was going to play anything on that, potentially just a Chelsea clean sheet, which they'd obviously take because they go through. And then the other games, obviously Bayern, Lazio, and similar to the Man City game, really, isn't it? I can't see anything for a crazy comeback. Lazio lost their last 3 away from home. We had them in our bet on Friday at 2 o'clock. For some reason, they played at 2 o'clock. And they only just kind of beat Crotone, who are bottom of the Serie A. That's 3-2 win, so that was a bit too close for comfort for us. And then just on the Bayern side, they're unbeaten at home this season. Only 1 loss in 10, winning 8 of those games. So they're obviously still in form, still a very good side. Unbeaten at home, I can't see much of a Lazio comeback. I still fancy Bayern to win the game at 1-3. I thought that was quite good odds for a Bayern win, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty short, all things considered, isn't it?
Lazio's struggling away, and they're still going to play the big boys, aren't they? So just because they'll
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that
just
is at
because
the
they're
Allianz
winning
Arena.
from the away leg doesn't mean they're not going to go out and try win the game. Just that kind of German mentality to be perfect. I still think they're going to go try win this game at home. So at 1-3, I thought that's quite a good price to put in with a double or something like that. And talking of the double, I know you said that you like Barnsley. We love betting against Wickham.
Yeah.
They beat Preston the other day.
Yeah.
That was to halt a three-game losing streak. And Barnsley, on the other hand, 8 straight wins now, including against Bournemouth at the weekend, which was a huge win because that was 6th versus 7th. And also in that 8 games, a good away win at Brentford. So just to go off that, we like betting against Wickham because they're bad for that league. They shouldn't have gone up in the first place. And Barnsley are kind of still under the radar. Can we still get away with saying that? Matt?
Yeah, well, they are because their prices are they're 3-4 when I checked last night.
45 on Bet365, so still 45 to beat the worst team in the league away from home when you've won your last 8 games in a row. Maybe after the Bournemouth game was the only thing I was thinking potential letdown spot after such a big win. Do they take their foot off the gas a little bit?
Well, my feelings were that they won't because their next 2 games, obviously Wickham, and then Sheffield Wednesday.
Really. Yeah.
They then have Reading. Yes, they then have Reading.
Yeah, so if you want to get your points, you get your points now, kind of thing.
Yeah, if they want to cement their playoff place, then they really need to win these 2 games, which is why I think we've got 2 more cracks. We've got tonight and the weekend's crack at Sheffield Wednesday to get any value on Barnsley before it starts disappearing.
Bournemouth the other day just kind of cements that they are a very good side, winning 3-2 away at Bournemouth, as well as in these 8 games beating Brentford away from home, who are second in the league. They're beating good sides as well, so you'd like to think they'd beat Wickham, who we like to bet against pretty much every week. Just as a point on those 2 games I just covered, Bayern and Barnsley double was actually 1.34 to 1, so that has potential just to look at that kind of double, which is quite a nice price. The only other game on Wednesday that I looked into, which I like the look of, because there's not actually too much to go off on Wednesday. There's a few championship games, but there's quite a lot of tight ones with not too much riding on it. There's a game, obviously La Liga, there's Sevilla, Elche, and there's a couple of there's a French game, there's an Italian game, but the only other game I looked into was Accrington Sunderland. And that was just the fact I've had Sunderland 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and they haven't let me down yet. So carry on riding the train, almost like you said. You're in the Barnsley well. I'm in the Sunderland well, and I'll carry on until they mess up. I couldn't believe I looked at the odds, and Sunderland were even money again. So they were 4-5 against Tranmere the other day. We spoke about that and couldn't believe the odds, and they won 1-0. That was fairly comfortable against Tranmere. I actually said about the clean sheet as well. Now that I remember that. And then just looking into it, Accrington are actually one of the worst form sides in League One at the moment as well. They don't let their kind of table position fool you almost, because a couple of weeks ago they were 2 or 3 points off the playoffs, similar position to Ipswich are. Now they've dropped off a little bit because they've only won 1 in 10. So they've had 1 win, 5 draws, 4 losses in the last 10. And just on the Sunderland side, I've spoke about them pretty much every week now. Unbeaten in 12, 9 of those being wins. I think this would, as much as you probably hate to hear it, I think this is the year they're going to go up. I
tend to agree with you.
Time, similar to what I said about Crawley. Now's the time to kind of put on your kind of run of games at the end of the season to sneak in. I honestly think they're going to sneak into the top 2 as well with their form. Hull have played however many games, I think 3 more games. Posh are kind of hit and miss at the best of times. So I think with Sunderland's form at the moment, I can see them definitely getting in the top 2. and at even money away from home against a poor form Accrington side. I couldn't believe they're even money. So.
But there's an awful lot of good feeling around Sunderland at the moment with the new manager and their takeover and stuff. You know, they've finally got the fucking clowns, that Donald and that other twat who was on Sunderland Till I Die. Whatever is Charlie Bevan or whatever it is. They've finally got them scumbags out of the club, and they can move forward a bit now. And in terms of, from my side of things, it's great because North East football is Newcastle is the top of the tree in North East football because they're in the Premiership and there's fuck all else around it. So yeah, no, it's a good thing for North East football, and I'm glad that they've actually finally got rid of those two chances that took over the club and, you know, almost run them into the ground. So there's a lot of good feeling around Sunderland at the moment.
4 or 5 years, so they're too good for League One. I think now they're kind of proving that with their recent form, and it's not like they're drawing a load of games. It's different being unbeaten in 12, but drawing 7 or 8 of those. So they're unbeaten in 12 and they've won 9 of them. So
yeah, exactly.
Coming up against a poor form Accrington side, I was surprised they're even money again. So I'm just kind of riding that train until it crashes, and at the moment I can't see it crashing anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing I wanted to get your take on was with obviously the disruption around PSG. They've got a French Cup game, haven't they, against Lille on Wednesday night? I think so, but I didn't look into it. I just wanted to get your thoughts on a potential play on Lille because of the disruption.
You can see why. I think a lot of kind of smart people would be doing that, wouldn't they? With everything that was happening the other day. But it's one of those they have got. When you've got a squad like that and a side that's, I'd say, even though Lille are top at the moment by 3 points, I'd still say that PSG side's a lot better than Lille.
No, I agree. I just thought it would be worth mentioning.
PSG obviously losing the game the other day. I could see why people would do it, but just putting my money where my mouth is, I don't think I would put money that way. I know Lille have only lost 2 all season, to be fair to them. So there's potential there for them to go through, but it's just one of those I don't really like to bet against PSG in that kind of league, because when they turn it on, they can turn over any one of those sides.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I just thought it would be worth mentioning just because of obviously
probably one of those
that happened the other night. So.
Worth looking out for the sides, I'd imagine, because I don't know if Dean Maria will obviously play or whatever, but maybe if you looked at that starting 11 and you feel that's not very strong or whatever, maybe have a look at the odds on Lille, or maybe even Lille or draw or whatever.
Yeah, and then obviously on Wednesday we have Cheltenham, and my friend Gavin, the horse racing expert, has given me a horse for Wednesday. It's called Brave Man's Game, and it runs in the Ballymore Novices Hurdle, which is the first race of the day on Wednesday. He said to get on the price now because he can only see it shortening, and he's not sure why that isn't the favourite for the race. The current price is 11-4. So if anybody wants a little horse racing sprinkle on Wednesday, that's a bet from my friend Gavin, who is very good on his horses. He also has he's also given me his horse for the Gold Cup on Friday, but I'll save that one till.
So did he give you just those?
The Friday podcast.
How many did he give you?
He gave me Shishkin, which is running today, which is a very short price favourite and only a 4-horse race. And the other horse he gave me is now a non-runner. So, like I said, there's Shishkin and Brave Man's Game, which is tomorrow. Shishkin runs today, actually. So, Yes, I had Gavin's pick for the Gold Cup on Friday,
nice.
Which we'll give out on Friday. So yeah, that concludes Wednesday, I think, and then obviously we have the Europa League on Thursday. Now there's only two games that are close.
Well,
2 ties that are close.
Maybe 3 if you counted the Arsenal game, because that's obviously 2-1. There's a 3-1. Oh. Well,
3-1.
The Arsenal game then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it. Yeah, it was the Rangers game, wasn't it? And the Man United game. One little piece I will give on a game that isn't particularly close is the Tottenham and Dynamo Zagreb game. I don't know if you'd seen this last night. It broke last night while I was actually doing my research into the Europa League games. Dynamo Zagreb's manager has just been confirmed that he's going to have to spend 4 years in prison. So he resigned last night. Do you remember a couple of years ago, Luka Modric was involved in a perjury case regarding his transfer from Dynamo Zagreb to Tottenham? And there was cases of money embezzlement and, things like that. And the fella's the manager of Dynamo Zagreb, him and his brother have both been... They were found guilty, however long ago. It's now been confirmed by the Croatian Supreme Court, or whatever their version of that is that he will now have to spend 4 years in prison for it, and his brother got 6.5 years. So they've now appointed their assistant manager as the first team coach. So I just again, disruption. I would have a look at the Spurs side first. I know they're 2-0 up from the first leg. So I just like the look of a Spurs win, and they were 10-11, just purely based on disruption that causes coming 2 days before they're due to play in the Europa League again. So, yeah, I thought that...
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, they were last night, yeah. No, so I like that. I just thought it was an interesting little tidbit on one of the games. Yeah. So I did the Rangers game, you did the Man United game. And I'll be honest with you, I found it really fucking hard to do anything for that Rangers game. I think the two sides are comparable because of their leagues. It's not like Rangers are playing a team from Serie A or the Bundesliga or something like that, where potentially you'd think that they're not that comparable. So I liked Slavia Prague on the double chance, which I did write down. So I'm just going to have to find that, because that was part of that double that I now don't like, which was almost 2-1 with the Atlanta double chance. So let me just have a flick and try and find that double chance. I think that was 11. I think it was 11-8 or something like that.
As I said, double chance, and I also put out
we did.
Both teams to score, which actually came in as well, which was a nice price at 11-5. So that was one of them.
Yes.
Nice.
Double chance, 4-6. So that was about... I couldn't especially find much.
Yeah, I think it's going
to handicap the game, because they're both close. They're both fucking one. Neither team lose. It was 1-1 going from the first leg. Because of the little bit of extra value on Slavia Prague, I liked them on the double chance. That was about as much as I could get out of it, really. So I just found it a very difficult one to handicap.
It's similar with the AC Milan Man United game. For me, I struggled with it, to be honest, because I watched the game the other night, because a lot of people would have been let down by Man United conceding last minute, and Harry Maguire missing one on the line, which would have comfortably helped them win. But AC Milan actually looked really good, and I played a lot off them last week, with the injuries and stuff, and they didn't seem to actually miss them too much. But just as a neutral looking at the game before looking at the odds or anything, you think Man United away in Europe, you kind of think, well, the first thing I thought of was the PSG game. So I thought I'd like to bet Man United to qualify. That's only 8-13 once I looked at the odds.
Yeah.
So it's not really close to the mark of what we like. And then looking at the home form for AC Milan, it's generally quite good, but when they come up against the better sides, well, the stats speak for themselves. They've lost 4 at home this season, coming up against Juventus, Atalanta, Inter Milan, and Napoli. So that lost 4 against 4 good sides, pretty much. So, which made me like the Man United side even more to kind of qualify. They did seem to look like they missed Rashford last week, which we didn't know if he was going to play or not. He didn't play, and it seemed like they kind of missed him just being able to run at players. Martial stood up front for the first half and didn't fancy moving. So that side, I did like Man United, but I also liked just like a little sprinkle. You can put game to be decided in extra time. And that's actually 9-1.
Right.
And then if you went that obviously step further and went Man United in extra time, that jumps up to 14-1. Either side.
Oh, so you could just get either side in extra time.
And then just going off the basis that I think Man United will still go through, even though I like the look of it, AC Milan the other night. I think a lot of that was Man United playing really poor. So I still like the Man United side to qualify. And the 8-13, I don't know how much money I'd put on that side. But I'd like to kind of sprinkle in extra time at 14-1.
And just quickly, it's away goals in 90 minutes, yes? In the Europa League. Because I remember for a while they used to be after.
They've changed it.
Extra time.
Just going off that basis as well, you can obviously bet on the method of qualification. So I like the Man United side. So I could play more money on them to qualify in 90 minutes, which is actually 5-6. Or you could play then the little sprinkle on extra time on Man United, which is 14-1. And then even if you wanted to go even like a littler amount of money, you could go Man United on penalties, which is 25-1. Obviously, to qualify overall, it's 8-13. Not the best, but if you kind of pick how they're going to do it, you could. If you like the Man United side with me, you can play the 90 minutes for a larger amount of money, and then kind of put just a little bit on the extra time and penalties, which I think I'd look to do. I like that side more. As well as AC Milan played, I can't see Man United playing that poorly again, is what I'm going off pretty much.
Okie dokie.
No, that's it.
I think that about wraps us up, doesn't it? Unless we've got anything else. No.
Yeah.
I thought it might be a short one again, but we're going to be nearly an hour, so.
No, well, to be fair,
we don't really do short podcasts, do we?
Today. I looked at it and I was looking at the Tuesday games. I was thinking, cool, can't see much there. Wednesday, can't see much there. Thursday, I'm not even really going to look into, because I said in the second leg, so I don't really like to bet on too much. But then, just being able to have this time to actually dig a little bit deeper. A lot of these kind of League 2 bets that I found, and a couple of the Championship ones. There's value out there. There is some value out there once you.
There's some nice ones, isn't there?
And you just throw teams into your accumulator like an hour before the game. Actually having a day or whatever to look and dive into the form and all this kind of stuff. That's where you can get your value at. Well, definitely. So we've been.
It does make a big difference, doesn't it?
Last week, but that could have easily been 5-0, and then just during the week last week, 6 winning days in a row. I think a lot of that has happen because we are on the computer or on our phones looking into these stats. I think it's starting to come out now, the work that we're putting in. We're getting a little bit of that back, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will just say to everyone, like us and follow us and share and tell your friends and all that shit.
Yeah. Good luck with your bets.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, mate.
See you
Good
later.
luck, everybody. Another good pod there. Plenty of stuff to help you out making your bets and stuff. So, yeah. Talk to you on Friday.
Thanks for watching. Bye.